Okay, Chapter 9, Lesson 3. We're going to be subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators. So the good thing about this is that they don't have to find a common denominator because it's already going to be done for them. But they're going to have to change the top fraction because it's going to be smaller than the bottom one. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we have 8 3/8 minus 2 5/8. So we're going to subtract the fractions, 3 minus 5, which you cannot do. You could have negative numbers, but we are not doing integers yet, not for a while, so you cannot do that. We don't want you to. So what you're going to have to do is rename the 8, or borrow from the 8, and that becomes a 7. Now, we already have a fraction here, 3/8. So we don't need to change that 8 or anything. The way that we're going to get the new fraction is we're going to add the numerator and the denominator together. So 3 plus 8 is 11. So my new fraction is going to be 11 over 8. And this one's just going to stay the same. Now I can go ahead and do my problem. 11 minus 5 is 6 over 8. 7 minus 2 is 5. So I have 5 6/8. Now lesson 3 is when we have to start reducing again. So remember, I tell the kids 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If it's an even number, they're going to have to reduce. So 6 and 8 are even, so they can both be divided by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So your answer would be 5 3/4. What happens if we have two of the same fractions? Well, it's the same. If you have 2 minus 2 is 0. 5 minus 5 is 0. So 9/20 minus 9/20 it's going to be 0. You don't have to put the 0 there. You don't need to put anything. All you're going to do is subtract 58 minus 19. So 58 minus 19 is 39, and that's your answer. Some students might want to put 39 and put 9/20 minus 9/20 is 0. Do not do that. If the two fractions are the same and they cancel each other out, so we don't need to put anything. Just subtract the whole numbers. So here we got ourselves a big fraction. 76 3/20 minus 11/20. 25 11/20. So again, I cannot subtract 3 minus 11. You can't do that. So we got to borrow or rename the 76. And that's going to become 75. I'm going to add 3 plus 20 gives me 23. So this is my new fraction. 75 23/20 minus 25 11/20. I know 23 over 20 is an improper fraction, but that's how we got to do this to get our answer. So 23 minus 11 is 12. Denominator stays the same. 75 minus 25 is 50. So we have 50 and 12/20. And again, if the number is an even number, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10, or ends in a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, then they're even, they can be divisible by 2. So here we've got 12 is divisible by 2, 20 can reduce it by 2. I like to do numbers that are bigger, so I don't have to reduce it more than one time. So I know 4 goes into 12, and I know 4 goes into 20. I'm going to go ahead and do this over here. So I have a little bit more room. So 50 is going to stay the same. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And that is their answer, 50 3/5. So I got to keep telling them, don't be afraid because they're bigger numbers. You're just doing the same steps. Just take your time and don't forget to reduce. So let's take a look at some of the homework problems. So number 2, I got 8 1/4 minus 2 3/4. You cannot take 1 minus 3, so I got to rename this fraction. That's going to be 7. 1 plus 4 is 5 over 4. This fraction is going to stay the same. We're only changing one of the fractions, and it's always the top. So the bottom fraction stays the same, you're changing the top. 5 minus 3 is 2. Remaining denominator stays the same. 7 minus 2 is 5. So we've got 5 2/4. And of course 2/4 can be reduced to a half. So your answer for number 2 is 5 1/2. Okay, here I got 3 2 6 minus 2 5 6. This is number 5. I cannot take 2 minus 5. I can't take 5 away from 2. So I'm going to rename the 3 into a 2. 6 plus 2, or 2 plus 6, is going to be 8. So this is going to be 8/6. This fraction stays the same. 8 minus 5 is 3. Keep my denominator the same. 2 minus 2 is 0, so I don't have to put a 0. I'm left with 3/6, and of course that can be reduced to a half. So the answer for number 5 is just a half. So number 7, 4 2/5 minus 2 4/5. Your bottom fraction is going to remain the same always. We're just changing the top. So I'm going to rename this to a 3. I'm going to take my 2/5 and add them together. 2 plus 5 is 7, and denominator stays the same there. That way we still have a common denominator. 7 minus 4 is 3. Denominator stays at 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. So the answer for number 7 is 1 3/5. Let's try a little bigger one. 16 1/12 minus 7 5/12. Remember, this fraction is going to stay the same always, so just move it over. Now we get to change the top because we can't take 5 away from 1. So I'm going to rename this to a 15. Denominator is going to stay the same. 1 plus 12 is 13. Now I can go ahead and subtract. 13 minus 5. Denominator stays the same. 15 minus 7 is 8. So I have 8 8/12. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. These are both even numbers. They're both divisible by 2, but I like to get the bigger denominator or factor. That way I don't have to reduce again. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 8 2/3 would be your answer for number 13. Now they could have reduced it by 2, but when they do that, 8 divided by 2 is 4, 12 divided by 2 is 6. They have to do it again. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So you get the same answer, you just have to reduce it 2 times. That's why it's better to find the greatest common factor. That way you can just reduce it 1 time and be done. Okay, again, if you have any more trouble, see me in the morning, use your notes, and watch this video as many times as you like. Thank you.